Imagine waking up tomorrow to discover that a government agency you believed represented the presidency never really existed, yet it reportedly had an office in the Federal Secretariat. It had a Director General. It held meetings with ambassadors and foreign investors. It corresponded with ministries and actually got approval of the regulatory body to recruit 300 persons. It appeared in Nigeria's national budget. It also allegedly opened bank accounts, including one at the central bank. How could this happen? Was it simply the work of one individual, a very remarkable con artist? Or does this controversy expose yet a deeper weakness in Nigeria's institutions? Welcome to the other side. I'm Rimamnde Shawulu. Tonight we examine one of the most unusual governance controversies in Nigeria. Indeed, one of the biggest controversies in Nigeria's history. The case of Adeniyi Adeyemi Matthew and the alleged Presidential Foreign Intervention Promotion Council, a body the presidency says never existed. Adeyemi denies wrongdoings and maintains that his appointment was genuine. While the matter is now before the courts, he is said to have been charged to court by the government. We will therefore distinguish between verified facts, official allegations, the defense of Adeyemi throughout this program.
Where Chief of Staff to the President has meritoriously served for good 20 years and rose from minority leader, majority leader, and then speaker for good 4 years. I mean, he rose to be the number 4 citizen of Federal Republic of Nigeria. So the question becomes unaffordable. At what point in the process did reference to non-existent agency allegedly enter the official record? And if that are indeed present in an official documentation, what that implies about the integrity of the process that produced and approved those documents? For President Bola Ahmed Tinubu to assent his signature to a budget that includes a non-existent agency according to his chief of staff is an embarrassment to this advocating government. My distinguished media practitioner, when the question persists regarding administrative process, budget lines, and institutional communication allegedly connected to this agency, if it doesn't exist. The same acclaimed non-existent agency has domiciliary, pounds, and treasury single account, all domiciled in the central bank of Nigeria. So what Chief of Staff is telling Nigerians is that the CBN governor, with his 4 deputies, 16 capable directors, and over 5,300 staffs are clueless not to have dictated a fraudulent document for opening accounts.
The controversy centers on Prince Adeniyi Matthew, who publicly described himself as a Director General of the Presidential Foreign Intervention Promotion Council, sometimes referenced together with the Presidential Economic Advisory Council. The presidency has categorically stated that no such council exists under the present administration. According to the official statement, investigators concluded that the council was fictitious and that Adeyemi allegedly forged appointment documents, impersonated a government official, and sought official recognition through fraudulent means. The Nigerian police subsequently filed an 8-count charge before the Federal High Court in Abuja. Adeyemi rejects these allegations. He says his appointment was genuine, that the truth will emerge in court, and that an independent investigation should examine not only his conduct, but also the conduct of senior government officials. In October, the police arrested Adeyemi after executing search warrants at his office at the Federal Secretariat and his residence in Suleja. Investigators say that they recovered appointment letters, official-style correspondences, and other documents. In November, precisely November 27, police filed an 8-count charge against Adeyemi and 2 other suspects who remain at large. The charges include conspiracy, forgery, impersonation, and obtaining by false pretense. And fast forward to July 2026, controversy intensified after media reports highlighted that an entity described as the Presidential Economic Advisory Council / Presidential Foreign Intervention Promotion Council appeared in the published 2026 Appropriation Act with details of a reported allocation of 1.3 billion naira. That is the equivalent of about $1 million. This case raises difficult questions. According to police findings cited by the presidency, Adeyemi allegedly used forged documents to obtain office accommodation, correspond with ministries, diplomatic support for visa applications, and obtain multiple bank accounts, including a central bank account. The presidency says no government funds were transferred into that account. Investigators also alleged that 34 bank accounts were opened, 9 of them linked to entities described as fictitious. Those findings, of course, will be tested in court. For many Nigerians, the issue is no longer simply whether documents were forged. It is how those documents allegedly moved through multiple layers of government before questions could be raised. This controversy points to potential vulnerabilities across several institutions. First, appointment verification. If forged documents were indeed used, how were they not dictated earlier? Second, office allocation. How did a body later described as fictitious operate from the Federal Secretariat? Third, financial controls. How were bank accounts reportedly opened? What due intelligence were undertaken by the banks and by whoever assisted in getting the bank's accounts to be verified and become usable? Fourth, budget preparation and oversight. If the disputed entity appeared in published budget documents, who proposed the budget line and who gave it the number that is usually officially created to have an item in the budget line? And at what stage was it indeed introduced? Which institutions reviewed it before publication? And finally, interagency coordination. The timeline shows that the NIPC, Ministry of Foreign Affairs, the Office of the National Security Advisor, the Office of the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, the Chief of Staff to the President, the Department of State Security, and the police all became involved at different stages. The case therefore raises broader questions about how information is shared and verified across government institutions. This story has continued to evolve over the past 1 week. In public controversy, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu directed the Independent Corrupt Practices and Other Related Offences Commission to conduct a time-bound investigation into the wider issues raised by the scandal. Reports indicate that the commission has been given 30 days to investigate the circumstances surrounding the disputed council and the unrelated allegations. The expanded focus means that the inquiry is no longer limited to the criminal charges already before the Federal High Court, and indeed will not have included the charges before the Federal High Court. It also seeks to understand whether institutional failures or official misconduct by individuals enabled the alleged activities. Human rights lawyer Femi Falana has argued that the presidency should not be seen as clearing any individual and has called for an independent investigation into the allegations against all parties.
I have absolute confidence on the integrity of my Chief of Staff. All the issues all campaign of calumny and insinuations should stop. The buck stopped here. If I make mistake, I'm ready to own up to it.
Meanwhile, Adeyemi continues to deny the allegations and has repeated his call for an independent panel and says that he is prepared to defend himself in court. Whatever the eventual verdict, this controversy has already affected perception of governance in Nigeria. For citizens, it raises questions about transparency and institutional accountability. For investors, it underscores the importance of reliable administrative systems and clear verification processes. For diplomatic partners, it highlights the need for confidence that those claiming to represent the Nigerian state are properly authorized. Otherwise, how did ambassadors go for a government function that the Ministry of Foreign Affairs did not invite them? Do foreign ambassadors, have the right to go to any agency on their own without the Federal Ministry of Foreign Affairs? And for government itself, it represents an opportunity to strengthen document authentication, public registers of official appointments, interagency coordination, and financial controls. And of course, this is important because if someone can create an agency, work his way or that fake agency into the budget, What hope do we have? What guarantees do we have that the numerous government officials parading themselves, using sirens and even police, are not also fake? How will you convince the world that the next public officer who is standing before you or before whom you are standing or sending a request is not fake? Every scandal tells two stories. One is about the individuals accused. The other is about the institutions that were tested. The courts will decide whether Adeniyi Adeyemi Matthew committed the offenses alleged against him. But regardless of that outcome, Nigeria still faces difficult questions. How did this controversy develop? How were warning signs missed? What are the control measures at the Federal Secretariat? What guarantee do you have that a violent non-state actor cannot come with headed papers or forged documents and set up office at the Federal Secretariat? Could stronger verification systems have prevented this? And what reforms are needed to ensure that public trust in government institutions is strengthened rather than diminished? These are the questions that deserve answers. My name is Rimamnde Shawulu. Thank you for watching The Other Side. Please remember to subscribe to our channel and to like our content so that YouTube will recommend it to other people.